Good morning, everyone. Before we get started, I just want to take a moment to thank Californian firefighters and other first responders. As Michelle said, these fires, we've all been seeing them on the news. They're so devastating. And I'm really amazed by the first responders' courage in working to contain what is really one of the worst fire seasons this country has ever seen. I also want to applaud the efforts of longtime food tank friend, Chef Jose Andres, and World Central Kitchen. They are here in California helping provide meals to those in need and those who have been affected by the fires. I just donated to World Central Kitchen this morning. I'd love for you all to do the same. It's worldcentralkitchen.org. 100% of the donations will go to feeding those in need right now in California. So I really just encourage you to do that. Now I feel like I can start. So again, I'm Dani Nierenberg, and I am president and co-founder of Food Tank. I am so excited to be here. This summit has been a long time in the making, and it's just incredible to see so many of you and to have you all here today. There are some critics in this country who say that there is not a food movement. But as I look around this room, I can clearly see that there's a movement to build a better food system. It's here in San Diego, it's in California, it's across the United States, and it's really across the world. And it's a movement that really hopes to bring everyone to the table. A movement that builds community for us to engage in discussion and real dialogue and conversation. A movement that ensures eaters are healthy, safe, and nourished, and can both afford and gain access to sustainably grown food. A movement that really makes farmers the center of our efforts. A movement that values farm and food service workers. A movement that respects the role of science and technology. And a movement that puts people and the planet first. Our role today is really to encourage the uncomfortable conversations that will move us forward. And that is what today and the summit is really about. To move us to find real solutions in both the public and private sectors, and to recognize the value we all have as citizen eaters. People who vote with their forks, their dollars, and their actual votes for the kind of food system and agricultural system that values the rights of future generations. There's been a lot of talk about what was gained last week in the election. The first Muslim women were elected to Congress. The first openly LGBTQ person will represent the state of Kansas. Florida is allowing 1.4 million formerly incarcerated folks who served their time to now have voting rights. There are 7 scientists who will be in Congress, including a biochemist and an ocean expert. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez became the youngest woman elected to Congress. And she really understands the challenges and the struggles that people working in the food system face, because while she was running for office, she was also waitressing and bartending. She says that the food industry is the nexus of almost all of the major forces in our politics today. It's super closely linked. I love that she says super closely. I just think that's so cute. It's super closely linked with climate change and ethics. It's the nexus of minimum wage fights, of immigration laws, of criminal justice reform, of healthcare debates, and of education. She says you'd be hard-pressed to find a political issue that doesn't have food implications, and I couldn't agree more. I'm also excited because there were a lot of local wins in the election. Here in San Diego, ballot measure J will boost government transparency by requiring all businesses and individuals who would benefit financially from deals with the city to be revealed before the city council approves those contracts. That kind of transparency is really important for strengthening local democracies. And statewide, California voters approved a new minimum requirement on farms to provide more space for egg-laying hens, breeding pigs, and calves raised for veal. That's a real win for the animal welfare movement. These are the kinds of initiatives that made us so excited to have this summit in California, and especially here in San Diego. I'm originally from Missouri, or Missouri, as my mom likes to say, and that's considered the breadbasket of the country. But in so many ways, most of the food that we all eat every day is coming from this region, from California. California is the United States' largest agricultural producer and exporter. In 2016, California farms and ranches produced more than $50 billion in fruits and vegetables and other crops, and exported more than $20 billion in agricultural products, accounting for 13% of the nation's total agricultural value. More than 1/3 of the vegetables and around 2/3 of the fruits and nuts grown in the United States come from California. And the state has nearly 20% of all organic farms in the United States, representing 1/5 of all organic cropland in the country. San Diego County has the most part-time farm workers in the state and is number 2 in farms with women as the principal operators in California. And as you all know, California has really been in the lead and at the forefront of not only activism around food and agriculture, but the use of science and technology to make the food system more sustainable. The whole country needs to learn from you, and policymakers in other states need to learn from the efforts that are being done here. As much as today is about amplifying the work and fostering local relationships that are happening here, it's also about taking your success and the lessons that you've learned to the rest of the country and to the rest of the global food movement. Our last summit in New York City about a month ago drew more than 90,000 live stream viewers, which rivals really the biggest stadiums in this country. So we want you to promote the feed using the hashtag #FoodTank across all of your social media platforms, so the conversation can reach 3 or 4 or 500 people for every one person who's in this room. I'm thrilled also that so many highly respected journalists who are moderating or participating in panels are here today, from NBC7, the San Diego Tribune, Edible San Diego, Fox 5, and San Diego City Beat. And we have organizations from the region that represent the innovation, leadership, and entrepreneurship happening here every day. Organizations like our partner, the Very Good Foundation, and our Force of Nature, Michelle LaRocque, who've really moved to create a strong local and sustainable food community that supports local producers. The University of California is developing agricultural knowledge and sharing information to improve farming practices and cultivate that next generation of agricultural leaders. And I want to especially thank, again, Rose Hayden Smith, who was the inspiration behind this summit, and all of the incredible work she does at the university. The Restaurant Opportunity Center and the San Diego and Imperial Counties Labor Council are fighting to improve wages and working conditions for those who get our food to our plates. And farmers like Nate Looney, Stephanie Norton, Jessica Greendeer, and Monica Bay are finding ways to use agriculture as a leadership tool for returning veterans, for youth, and for women. UC San Diego is helping make the connections between food production and climate change. The San Diego Food System Alliance is working to bring together so many of the great groups who are working here and build coalitions. And organizations like Kiss the Ground and the company Dr. Bronner's are telling the story of soil and its ability to solve the climate crisis. I could go on and on about all the great work that's being done here, but I think you get the point. It's a really exciting time to be in San Diego. It's an exciting time to be part of the food movement here. And I know we all have a lot to do to not only create awareness about the food system, but to really build a system that helps both nourish people and the planet.